Tension erupted after the massacres of Igbo civilians in northern cities in 1966. Entire families fled back to the east, carrying little more than fear and grief. Nigeria was breaking apart, and trust between its regions had collapsed. In January 1967, General Yakubu Gowon and Colonel Odumegwu Ojukwu met in Aburi, Ghana. Their talks lasted for days, and both sides seemed to agree on unity, regional autonomy, and a way forward. It was called the Aburi Accord, and for a brief moment, Nigerians hoped peace was possible. But once Gowon returned to Lagos, his government rejected key parts of the deal. To Ojukwu and the eastern region, this was betrayal. The East felt cornered, abandoned, and determined to chart its own path. On May 30th, 1967, Ojukwu declared the Republic of Biafra. In the streets of Enugu and other eastern cities, the announcement was met with cheers and hope for freedom. But for Gowon and the federal government, secession was unacceptable. Nigeria's unity and its oil-rich lands were at stake. By July 1967, the first shots of the war were fired. Federal troops pushed into Biafran territory, while Biafra's forces launched their own offensives, even advancing westward into the Midwest. The conflict had become a full-scale war. At first, Biafran forces fought bravely and held ground. But the federal government had international recognition, greater resources, and control of Nigeria's oil wealth. Gradually, the tide turned. Then came one of the war's darkest chapters, the blockade. Biafra was cut off from supplies, and hunger became a weapon. Images of starving children with hollow eyes and frail bodies shocked the world. It became one of the first televised humanitarian crises in Africa, drawing attention from aid groups and global figures. Despite international sympathy, most countries backed Nigeria's unity. Biafra stood isolated. By late 1969, Biafran resistance had weakened under the crushing weight of famine, disease, and relentless offensives. On January 15, 1970, after nearly 3 years of war, Biafra surrendered. Ojukwu fled into exile, leaving his deputy to formally end the conflict. The Nigerian government declared that there was no victor, no vanquished, promising reconciliation and rebuilding. But the scars of the war ran deep. More than 1 million people, mostly civilians, lost their lives. Families were torn apart, communities destroyed, and trust between Nigeria's regions was forever shaken. The Nigerian Civil War remains one of Africa's most tragic conflicts, a war born from fear, mistrust, and the failure of peace. From the hope of Aburi to the devastation of famine, it is a story that shaped Nigeria's history forever.